So Wuthering Waves just dropped some information about their newest update. Now, as you know, many people have been looking forward to the version 1.4 update as there hasn't really been much information on it. Wuthering Waves have been kind of quiet whenever it comes to a lot of their advertising and even with the drip marketing. But it seems like we've gotten a ton of information come out for Wuthering Waves version 1.4 and also a kind of time frame on when we're going to get it and also what's going to be in store. Again, this is a very exciting update as it could lead to some even bigger updates in the future, and we're going to be going through all the information that you need to know in this video, as there are some smaller things in the advertisements which you may not have spotted and maybe just not thought about, because again, I kind of take a lot of this stuff at face value and never really look into it and only notice later on. So that's what we're going to be going through. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and also go to my Twitch where I'm going to be live. I definitely recommend going over there because we're going to be streaming a ton of Wuthering Waves and also Wuthering Waves related, content, reacting to it. So I definitely recommend going down to the pinned comment down below or the description where you can actually get my link. There you can follow and then you'll get notified as soon as I go live. But let's get back into the video. So Wuthering Waves actually released 2 bits of advertisement for the 1.4 version, and the first one being a very nice kind of looking art thing. Now, obviously, this tells us a lot about what kind of characters we're going to see in the story, and it's very exciting. Now, obviously, I don't know if we're going to get any more kind of advertisement or anything like that, because, again, we don't know. Because Wuthering Waves can kind of be random whenever it comes to advertising things, because they don't have a specific schedule, which I definitely think is something that they could work on, because, again, it gets a lot of people excited for a certain moment in time for something to come out, but we finally got something. And again, I don't know if there's going to be more information after this because, Wuthering Waves are just so spontaneous whenever it comes to this, but I'll definitely add it at the end of the video if anything else does happen. But what we see in this kind of art thing is there is a lot of characters getting involved in the story. Now, obviously, the first one being Camellya. I think Camellya is going to be a very big part of the story, obviously because it's her banner as well. We already know that from the drip marketing, but we've got characters like Encore, Jeji, Lumi, or Lumi's to be expected as well. She's a 4-star on the banner, Yinlin, and also Changli. So again, these are some characters I didn't really expect to be involved in the story, but it seems like they are. And also, if you haven't noticed, there's also a lot of stuff to do with the Elusive Realm too. It showcases a lot of the train stuff that we see in the Elusive Realm, as well as the cats and things like that, which I definitely think is going to be a very interesting turn for the story, and I'm very interested to see where Kuro Games can actually go with this, and what they're kind of doing with it. Because again, the second bit of advertising they released was a trailer, which pretty much showed off a lot of stuff. Now, obviously, a lot of this trailer was actually kind of like an IRL trailer, which was kind of weird to see. As you can see, it was like a kind of dude waking up and playing Wuthering Waves, which again, I think is a kind of cool concept, because usually with a lot of different trailers, especially in other gacha games, they just give you straight up gameplay and stuff, and they don't really care about the other things, where it seems like they tried to take a little bit of a creative approach here of someone being hacked by Camellya, which I think is kind of cool. And yeah, again, they boot up the game. They have all this stuff happen with the Elusive Realm, which I definitely think is very interesting. So it definitely seems like we're going to be getting some more lore on that, because whenever the Elusive Realm first came into Wuthering Waves, we never really learned too much about it. So maybe something's going to change with it, and maybe this could actually set us up for some future story, maybe for version 1.5 or even version 2.0, which I think is very exciting, and we're going to obviously find this out with Camellya and other people like that. Now, obviously they continue with this, and then you wake up and then you get a message from Camellya, which again, I definitely think is just, to bait a lot of people into coming back to the game for her and pulling on her, which again, I think is a very good move from Wuthering Waves there. I think they know exactly how they want to do their story. They want, people to be, obsessed with these characters, or sorry, the characters to be obsessed with the rover, which I think, if they want to do that, that's completely fine. And if people don't like that, then that's their own problem. And obviously, there was a little bit of lore stuff going on saying that, we were like her competition and stuff like that, which I definitely think is very interesting. And we're going to obviously have to find out in version 1.4. But it definitely seems like version 1.4 isn't going to be one of these kind of updates where nothing really happens and it's just filler. It definitely seems like there is some actual substance going on, which is really good to see from Wuthering Waves. And I think it's going to be very similar to the kind of Shorekeeper story, where we go and meet Camellya, and there's all the story surrounding it. With the Shorekeeper story, it had all the stuff about the tether system and all the stuff about the Black Shores, whereas I think, with the Camellya story, I think, it's going to be about Camellya, but also you're going to have the other stuff surrounding it, like the Elusive Realm, and also probably more of the Black Shores as well, which I think is a very similar kind of storytelling, mechanism that they use for the Shorekeeper. So maybe we're going to see that. I don't really know. Obviously, I don't know exactly how the story pans out or anything, but we're going to have to wait and see to see if there's any kind of more advertising for this, because again, I made a video literally before this one, which will come out after this video, talking about a lot of the drip marketing and, talking about where it's at, because Wuthering Waves just haven't been mentioning it at all. Now, I think this may be because they've got a bigger update planned, past version 1.4, so maybe they're waiting to actually release that later on, because again, usually there is drip marketing before an update like this, so maybe we'll see something in the future. I don't really know, but I'll definitely keep you guys updated if anything happens with that. And obviously, if we scroll down to some of the trailer stuff, a lot of the creators are very, very happy with this update, or very, very happy with this trailer, with Styx saying stuff like, dude, this is fire, Camellya is so psycho, I love it. Are you ready, my fellow seeds of fate? And then we got like Ellie saying she's coming home. We got, Chorimu said, everyone is very, very excited for this update. And I definitely think that Wuthering Waves can bring to the table something actually worth playing and worth actually getting into. Because again, we have had some pretty low patches whenever it comes to a lot of the other characters. Obviously, we had like Zheji and Zhang Liao's update, which again was a little bit more on the boring side. But apart from that, I think that Wuthering Waves have definitely stepped up their game a little bit and know that they have to create a good story to actually keep people engaged. And I think with a lot of these characters, they'll also help to bring a little bit of, kind of dynamicness to the story, which I think is great. And also, I think it's setting up some of the future banners that we're going to see. Obviously, we're going to have some rerun banners in the future. I definitely think that Yinlim might be involved in one of the future banners. I think that would definitely be one of the safer options, because obviously we had the Jian rerun, so who's after Jian? Well, it's Yinlim, who is like the furthest away. But also they could like mix up a little bit and go like Zheji or something like that, which I definitely don't think will be a bad choice, because then it means, we'll have a less predictable rerun banner, which honestly I think is a better thing, because it will be a little bit boring if they just kind of cycle through every single 5-star from oldest to newest, like constantly. I think that would be extremely boring. So maybe we'll see, a different character on the rerun banner in the future. I'm not really sure, but it definitely does give us a couple of options, maybe even Changli. I don't know if Changli is a little bit too new to be on a rerun banner, but again, it does give us a lot of information just in one photo. We can also see a lot of other stuff, including like, you can see the elusive realm trains in the background, there's like cars flying everywhere. So it kind of tells us that this is going to be a little bit of like a chaotic update. I don't really know how chaotic this is going to go. And obviously in the trailer as well, Camellya seems like she can't really control a lot of her powers at the moment. So maybe it's going to be something about, her controlling her powers and kind of, being able to control what these kind of seed things do. Because again, she was like breaking a lot of the cameras and stuff like accidentally, and well, this time on purpose. So it definitely seems like she doesn't have much control over this kind of thing. So it would be interesting to see how they kind of develop that in the future. And yeah, overall just a really, really good update. Now again, I've just refreshed this page because usually Wuthering Waves do release stuff about 11 AM my time. I don't really know what time it would be for you. But again, it doesn't seem like anything else has come out. And I talked about in the previous video about some previous kind of update stuff with the Wuthering Waves Halloween event thing. People thought this was going to be an invitation to like drip marketing and stuff, which it wasn't. But again, we do have some of this other stuff, which I think is great. And I don't really get why Wuthering Waves do schedule it like this. Obviously, at the start of the video, I talked about scheduling and how Wuthering Waves schedule their stuff. I definitely think they do need to kind of set out a certain time and a certain, just kind of, routine whenever it comes to updates. Obviously, some people might find it a little bit boring because, you kind of know whenever a new update is going to come out. But it helps us whenever it comes to creators and other people like that who will stay up and make videos for this, or stay up and make content for it, however that content is. So it would be really nice to have a little bit of forewarning whenever this happens, but honestly I don't think it's the end of the world. I think that there is a lot more that could be explored. And finally, Wuthering Waves say for more version details, stay tuned for future updates. So obviously we're going to get even more teasers in the future, which I will be covering all on this channel. So if you guys want to keep updated with a lot of this stuff, then I definitely recommend giving me a subscribe, because again, I'll be making a lot of videos as soon as this stuff goes live. I won't just be waiting like 5 days until I can make a video on all of it. I will be covering every individual thing. So yeah, I definitely recommend, giving me a subscribe, maybe even leaving notifications on, because again, then you'll know whenever something does come out. But yeah, it is very exciting to see, and it seems like Wuthering Waves are cooking. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you think that, this update is going to be a good update, or do you think that it's going to be another filler update? Honestly, in my opinion, it definitely seems like a very good update. There's going to be at least somewhat of a relevant story to the main story. It's going to progress the lore of Wuthering Waves further, but obviously I know there's a lot of people that might not think that, so yeah, just let me know in the comments what you guys think about this update. But that's spoiling off this video. If you did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And as I said, go over to my Twitch where I'm going to be live. I definitely recommend going over there. It'll be down in the pinned comment or the description below. Again, just give me a follow and you'll know as soon as I go live. But that's what I got, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.